Patarat-card ako about love life ko. Matagal pa daw siya dadating. Alam niyo yung pinaka-key takeaway ko lang. Magiging sugar baby daw ako.
Yes!
Guys, if you guys haven't watched my previous video, I actually talked about the do's and don'ts about public speaking. And this is just another follow-up video, but last time I actually asked you guys on Instagram about your questions regarding public speaking. So that's basically the thing that we're going to be talking about today. Frequently asked questions regarding public speaking, and I'm here to help you. Ito na ang katanungan. Unang katanungan, paano makontrol yung pag-uutal? Okay, for me kasi, nag-uutal ako kasi minsan, kapag nag-iisip ako, parang tuloy-tuloy yung thought process ko. So, pakiramdam ko, kapag tumigil ako, mawawala yung train of thought ko. So, meron akong tendency na magsalita ng patuloy-tuloy or non-stop and not actually incorporating strategic pauses. Especially sometimes pa rin, I guess, nahuli ko yung sarili ko na mabilis yung bigla yung pagsasalita. I'm now conscious kasi lagi ako nagsasalita for schools, for TikTok, for YouTube. So, unlike before kasi, na wala akong prior training. Pag mabilis yung salita ko, kapag may naisip ako, halimbawa tinanong ako ng isang question, kapag sasagutin ko siya, tuloy-tuloy yung sagot ko kasi ayoko maputol yung thought process ko or kabado ako na maputol yung thought process ko. Kaya mabilis ako magsalita. But now, medyo marami na akong trainings from Metro Manila Toastmasters Club, content creation, sa mga speeches ko for schools. Medyo may experience na ako unlike before. Kaya alam ko na kung paano i-combat yung ganong problema. Usually, ang nakakatulong talaga sa akin para hindi mautal ay practice, syempre. At bukod pa ron ay mag-incorporate ng strategic pauses like what I've mentioned from my previous videos. Sobrang importante ng pausing in terms of public speaking, not just because it actually helps you to think about the next few words that you're going to say, but it also helps you to avoid stuttering. It's a strategic way para pag-isipan mo talaga yung flow ng sasabihin mo na hindi masyadong obvious para sa mga audience mo. So it's really important that you actually take strategic pauses as you're speaking so that hindi ka mautal and at the same time makatulong sa'yo sa pag-structure ng mga sasabihin mo. One of the objections that I actually commonly get on TikTok is that kapag nag-pause daw sila, tuloy-tuloy na yung pause, hindi na nila alam yung susunod na sasabihin nila. That's where practicing actually comes in. And that's where your speech outline and speech pattern would come handy. So, halimbawa, nahihirapan ka na organize yung thought mo, then I would really suggest that you have a speech outline prior to speaking because that's actually something that's really important. To create a speech outline, I discussed about it on TikTok. It down below. Pero basically, ang speech structure para sa prepared speeches ay attention-grabbing line, tapos main argument, main argument, main argument, tapos conclusion. Isa-summarize mo lang yung mga sinabi mo. Ganun yung common structure for a prepared speech. For speech patterns naman sa impromptu speeches, can be story message gain or story message benefit speech pattern. I'll be linking it down below as well if you wanna see how it's done. Pwede rin RM or pwede rin prep. Pero usually kasi ang pinaka-favorite ko ay SMG at prep. Kasi ang SMG or story message gain, mas madali kasi, especially for beginners. So, during the time na nagpa-practice ako, the impromptu speeches that I usually post on TikTok, hindi siya masyadong intimidating for me kasi kapag nagkukwento ka ng storya mo, parang nagkukwento ka lang sa kaibigan mo, tapos sasabihin mo lang kung ano yung natutunan mo sa message at kung ano yung gusto mong iparating sa audience mo or anong gusto mong gawin nila. So, basically kasi, yung story message gain, gagamitin mo lang siya kung may i-relate ka na sarili mong storya sa question. It's usually about slice of life. So, kung meron kang questions regarding anything subjective or anything that you can actually provide an insight to, mga ganong type of questions, you can use story message gain. And then yung prep naman, ginagamit siya usually kapag binigyan ka ng specific situation or quote. Pwede mong gamitan yung prep method. Pwede mo rin gamitan yon usually sa school recitations or sa interviews. Pwede mo naman gamitan yung RM, answer, reason, example, message, kapag binigyan ka ng specific question. Pwede rin to sa recitation or sa mga interview for your job. Past, present, future naman ay kung may kino-compare kang situations or events within a timeline. Ngayon, yung mga speech patterns na yun kasi for impromptu speeches siya. But if you want a pattern na helpful sa'yo for recitation or for interview, ang pinakamadali ay claim proof method. Ibigay ka lang ng claim mo or your answer to the question question and then yung proof. Example, I'm applying as a public speaking trainer and they ask me, why should we hire you? Pwede kong claim ay I'm a bona fide public speaker. And then proof. Bibigay ko yung proof na kapag speech na ako sa iba't ibang universities, I spoke sa Toastmasters International, I was also invited for different podcasts na. So I can tell them all of my experiences. Yun yung mga proof ko. But for recitations, you can also use the claim proof technique kasi sobrang dali lang niyang gamitin at hindi nakaka-intimidate, especially kung hindi ka pa masyadong kamay sa public speaking. Next question. Paano maging fluent and parang convincing? Paano hindi mag-utal-utal pag nagsasalita? Basically kasi, yung pag-uutal, it all comes down to practice. Itong mga technicalities na to kasi, matututunan mo siya through practice. I know a lot of people are actually afraid or intimidated to start public speaking because one, lagi ko natatanggap na comment is that they're afraid of public speaking because they're afraid of what other people will say about them kapag hindi maganda yung accent nila or meron silang Filipino accent, quote-unquote, or kapag nagkaroon sila ng grammatical error. You see, when you start talking, even professional public speakers or voice artists, they usually stutter as well. I stutter, pero I don't make a big deal out of it. Halimbawa, nag-stutter na ako, uulitin ko lang yung sinabi ko, and then I'll try to explain it better. Para kapag nakita ko ng audience ko, hindi sila malilito na ano daw. Parang tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung conversation namin. I usually just shrug it off, I correct the mistake, and then I move on. Kasi people don't usually care. For as long as na iintindihan ka nila, okay na yun. And Filipino accent is totally not a bad thing. Kasi, like, Filipino tayo. Malamang yung accent mo, Filipino accent kasi nga, di ba, Filipino ka. Tulad ka kung meron kang Chinese accent, di ba? Having an accent is not a bad thing and I thought that maybe I should raise it in this video as well because it's one of the things that hinders people or stops them from conversing or starting to learn public speaking because they're afraid of what other people would actually say when in fact a Filipino accent is totally not a bad thing. But of course, we do need to learn the right pronunciation of words. Yun naman yung kailangan nating improve on and not necessarily changing our Filipino accent. So kung gusto mong maging convincing, it's all about confidence and the way you build your confidence is through consistent practice and kung ano man yung mga pangit or mistakes mo during your presentation, you can actually learn them along the way. So kung meron kang pangit na ginawa, mag-practice ka lang ulit. Mali ka sa pronunciation ng ganitong word, di pag-aralan mo para sa susunod hindi mo na gawin ulit. That's really how you start to be convincing. You just have to keep on practicing and then eventually your confidence will build up kasi alam mo naman yung effort na you're putting in. And when you know that you're putting in this amount of effort just to learn, you'll naturally feel confident kasi alam mo yung sinasabi mo at alam mo yung ginagawa mo. Next question, how to make a script or yung sasabihin in an easy way. Huwag tayo sa complicated, mami. Complicated ba yung tinuturo ko? Pero pinakamadaling format. Ito lang talaga yon, guys. Attention grabbing line, main point 1, proof, main point 2, proof, main point 3, proof, and then conclusion. Yun lang. Yun yung pinakamadaling format in terms of creating your own speech. That's the easiest way and the least intimidating way of creating your own script or creating your own outline for public speaking. And it actually applies for all types of speeches. Okay, what is our next question? Our next question is, how do you enhance your public speaking skill? Sino nilulook up mong public speakers? I enhance my public speaking skill through content creation. I know you guys have probably seen me from my impromptu speeches. I think my most viral video would have to be the creative introduction. But I really try to practice public speaking all throughout. Kahit nasa room lang ako or mag-isa ako, minsan kapag nasa mood ako, nag-train ako na parang nasa podcast ako and I'm getting an interview. Or minsan, kapag naka-on lang yung camera ko, alam niyo naman yata yun, guys. Parang, hey guys, welcome to my channel, mga ganon. I actually do that when I'm alone. Tapos kapag nagme-makeup ako, kung rin tuturo ako how to do makeup, I think those are really common things that people usually do. Yun ako nag-aaral. And also, I film a lot of content. Guys, kung bibilangin niyo yung kung ilan yung content ko na na-produce, sobrang dami na. Tapos ngayon nag-YouTube pa ako, kaya hindi talaga ako masyadong nahihirapan na kapag nag-e-explain kasi kakasalita mo ba naman, Mare? Ang dami-dami kong practice. Mahihirapan pa ba ako dito? Lagi na lang ako nagpa-practice. Ito na lang pinaggagawa ko everyday, dumakdak. Siyempre matututo ako ng public speaking. So it all boils down to a lot of practice. The more that you practice, the more that you'll feel confident and the more that you'll find it easier for you to structure your speech. Mga nilulook up kong public speakers, syempre si Ate Ayin. I actually joined Metro Manila Toastmasters Club because of Ate Ayin. I really looked up to her. I wanted to get mentored by her. That's why I joined Metro Manila Toastmasters Club in the first place. But aside from her, I also love, ang dami ko kasi gustong speeches from TED Talk talaga. Yun talaga yung mga sinustock kong mga public speakers. Lahat nasa TED Talk. There's a wide variety of topics on TED Talk. So I usually stay there kapag wala akong magawa or kapag mag-isa lang ako sa room, gusto ko ng background music. Yun yung mga piniplay ko. Sobrang gandang pakinggan ng TED Talk speakers and they're really inspiring and you also get to learn a lot from them. If you don't know kung ano yung magiging speech style mo or speech pattern mo, you can actually check out several TED Talk speakers and then gain inspiration from them while you're creating your own speaking style. Ayan! I love this question a lot. How to get rid of nervousness while speaking in public? The best way to get rid of your nervousness in public speaking is to actually acknowledge it. A lot of people, including me before, I saw being nervous as a bad thing, but when you're nervous, you actually produce adrenaline. And when you produce adrenaline, you're more likely to speak more fluently and you're also likely to create your thoughts faster. You know that people see nervousness as something that's intimidating, pero pag nag-practice ka, matututunan mo siyang gamitin to your advantage. Sometimes I get nervous as well. Whenever I start speeches for universities, parang na-intimidate ako, will they listen to me? How will I handle this speech? But I try to channel that nervousness into something that I can actually use, and I use it to really ground myself and to formulate ideas faster. Dahil kinakabahan ako, mas mabilis yung utak kong mag-isip. Dahil doon, mas marami akong na-input sa speeches ko as I'm speaking. And mas marami rin akong value na na-create for the people who are listening to me. So it's really all about you trying to practice constantly and you really trying to monitor ano kaya yung pwede kong i-improve next time kung hindi man maganda yung speech ko. The best way to really get rid of your nervousness, to be more convincing, to speak more fluently is through practice. It's not a one-time thing, pero the more na magpa-practice ka, bigla mo na lang makikita na kung laki na pala ng progress mo. That's why, in terms of practicing, I would actually recommend recording yourself better than just watching yourself on the mirror, because when you record yourself, makikita mo talaga yung progress mo. If you guys watch my videos from last year, around July, my videos now, ang layo talaga ng nirating niya. So, kaka-practice lang yun. And I think that the best thing about me teaching about public speaking online is as I'm teaching other people, I get to learn from other people as well. From the feedback, and nakikita ko rin yung progress ko. Kasi nga, lahat ng content ko or lahat ng speeches ko, mostly naka-record. So I can really review my progress. So if you're trying to learn public speaking and you want to really get rid of that nervousness, you have to keep on practicing and you really need to record yourself para makita mo rin yung sarili mong progress. Now, for our last question, Ate, how can I improve my pronunciation and articulation po? Thank you very much. As for pronunciation, I actually have fair share of mistakes as well when I'm pronouncing words. Like, I'm not gonna come clean. But, thankfully, for the people who are commenting on my videos, kapag may mali akong pronunciation, I get to, ay, mali pala to. Sige, papalitan ko yung video. Pina-private ko yung video, tapos nire-edit ko na lang or nire-retake ko na lang yung video. Then, what I do kapag nagkamali ako sa pronunciation, I go to Google. There's actually a new feature on Google na pwede mo nang train yung sarili mo kung tama yung sinasabi mo. And I would encourage you to utilize that, really practice through that para mas matuto ka ng pronunciation. Kung may hindi ka sure na pronounce na word, you can Google it first para alam mo kung tama ba talaga yung pronunciation. And then, in terms of articulation kasi, kailangan marami kang words na alam talaga. Like, you really need to build your vocabulary. And recently, I'm actually guilty of this kasi tumigil ako for quite some time. Medyo napilayan ako nung January. Like, hindi na ako masyadong nagbabasa. So, it's a disadvantage for me kasi yung mga words ko parang feeling ko paulit-ulit. Unlike before, kasi kapag nagbabasa ka, may bagong idea sa utak mo. Yun kasi yung mahirap. Kailangan marami ka talagang alam para marami kang makuhang words from your brain. Marami kang words na mapaglalaroan. But since tumigil nga ako kakabasa, nahihirapan na rin ako sa vocabulary ko. So, magbabasa ulit ako mga mare. What really helps me to improve my articulation is through reading books, listening to TED Talk speakers, and reading a lot of articles online. Mas marami kang alam, mas makakapag-articulate ka. So, yun lang naman mga mare. Thank you so much for watching this, and I hope that you actually like this video. If you want more of this, please comment down below or like this video. Subscribe. Huwag niyong limutan. Nakalimutan nyo, sige, okay lang. Ganyan naman kayo eh. Joke lang. Thank you so much for watching. If you have questions for me, you can drop them below. I'd be happy to answer them kasi hindi ako masyadong responsive sa Instagram. Minsan lang. Sa TikTok naman, minsan active ako, minsan hindi. Depende sa schedule ko. So, guys, if you have questions for me, drop them below. Of course, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Post questions there for my Q&A or for content requests. If you have requests for me, just drop them there sa mga Q&A that I drop. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. See you again next time. Bye-bye!